Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction haunted entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we return to you if you're catching us live. You're catching us Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, right on our Facebook page. But you also could be catching the recorded episode on Monday. And that is both on our, that is pretty much everywhere that finer podcasts are sold, but also on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/hauntweekly. And you can also find us just about any other time. Mm-hmm. We don't set your schedule here. We don't put no pressures like that. Well, we do put one, and we'll get to that in a minute. There is one minor pressure. But regardless, thank you very much for joining us whenever and wherever you are catching us. Once again, though, this is Haunt Weekly, hauntweekly.com. Haunt Weekly on Facebook, Haunt Weekly on Twitter. We already mentioned the YouTube channel, so I'll just say catch us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. Thank you for joining us. And we have a lot to go over today. This is a surprise. I usually am used to these, January, February, March, and April news episodes being a drag with not a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And we're sort of taking on articles that aren't directly related or aren't that important. No, we got a lot of important news.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big one. But we got to start with probably the most... Well, what we'll do is we'll start with the question of the week. And then we'll talk about what last week's winner, because that ties in directly to the next point.
Yes.
We'll do things a little bit out of order.
Well, not winner, just...
Oh, yeah, we'll announce, talk about the responses to it.
Yeah.
Because it ties directly into what we're dealing with here.
Exactly.
You'll figure it out in a second.
Mm-hmm.
So the question for the week this week has nothing to do with haunting.
It does not.
Because it's all that has been on our brain today, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that is, what is your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Uh-huh.
And that's because Ellie went out and bought all these Girl Scout cookies she could.
So we sent her alone.
Yes, that was
to do so.
It was tactical error on our part.
Yeah.
I admit this. Tactical error. Sent her alone, and she came back with 6 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. Good
7.
variety. I'm very curious to try these French toasties.
Yeah. Yeah, people have been raving about them.
I've been saying a lot of great things about it, so I'm very curious. But when it comes to Girl Scout cookies, I am in camp Thin Mint very, very strictly.
Uh-huh. Yes, you are.
I love my Thin Mints. I love my peppermint. I love my grasshoppers and my peppermint cookies broadly. Mm-hmm. And Thin Mints to me are just the creme de la creme of the peppermint cookie.
Well, yes, they are mint flavored, so that would be creme. But that's not what that means. No, but anyway,
what is your favorite? Then?
Samoas. So I'm all about the chocolate caramel coconut together. That's the only one I remember ever having growing up in the house, and we would always fight over. So
Chandra's already Thin Mints all the way. Yes, thank you, Team Thin Mint. Boom.
Yeah,
love it. Yeah, no, I am definitely Team Thin Mint, and always probably will be. But I'm very curious about these toasties. I'm hoping that they are unique and something that maybe can join Thin Mints on that level, but I don't know. We'll find out when we open the box, probably tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings us to the responses to last week's question, which were really interesting. Not because of the responses themselves.
No, the
responses themselves were fine and great.
Yeah,
y'all were great.
Exactly.
But basically, we asked you last week. That's for some reason a tongue twister. What merchandise do you want to see on the Haunt Weekly store?
Yeah.
And the great suggestions came in, some good ideas. And then someone made the comment basically, where is your store?
Well, no, they suggested something that we had on the store.
The stickers.
The oddball shirt.
Yeah, the oddball shirt. Yes.
They listed specifically oddball, and I'm like,
we already have that. You should just go buy one, dude.
Yeah, why are you suggesting this? So then I went to the store to see what was going on, and it wasn't there.
Yeah, this is going to take a minute, because I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit pissed about this, because the previous Haunt Weekly store, we partnered with Teespring.
Yeah.
And we partnered with Teespring on the recommendation of a friend of ours.
Yeah.
Who has a personal brand.
Yeah.
And Go ahead.
and it was Sam Farrell. Thank you, Sam, for your suggestion, because we wouldn't have known otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, we might
And
not
we're
have
getting
known-
to that.
We might not have known until I went. I probably would have checked this weekend just to see what was going on in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I probably would have found out pretty quickly. I usually check it on the weekends at least.
Yeah.
But my God, we found out on like this Thursday now
Yeah.
that the store is down. And we don't know why.
No.
We
No idea.
completely do not know why. Teespring is very weird. Well, it's not weird. It actually makes a lot of sense. But you set up an account, you create listings, you design things, you create
Right.
listings, and then those listings go into your store. So the stores are like the lowest tiers
Yeah.
of this. They took down both of the stores I had in my account. One of them had absolutely nothing in it.
Yeah. There's no reason that it should be gone.
No. And there's no reason the Haunt Weekly store should have been gone either.
No.
Especially considering they never actually emailed me.
No, they never contacted us.
Never contacted us. I received no notification. So my first thought was maybe I screwed up and archived it or deleted it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm not very familiar with the Teespring system. I can see that type of a mess up happening and not realizing it. But no information or confirmation about that happening. And they said it was due to a quote-unquote content issue.
Yeah.
And I've only seen that error once. So I've written Teespring. They wrote back saying, hey, you need to contact these people at the Intellectual Property Division. And I've contacted them. I contacted them Friday. I've not heard back yet. I suspect I'll hear back Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, I'm not a nobody in this area.
Right.
I file hundreds of DMCA notices, a year, and I do copyright takedown and copyright enforcement work for my day job.
Yeah.
I know this system inside and out. I know these systems and how they're supposed to work. One of the things I'm supposed to get is a copy of any DMC notice that was sent so that I can respond to it.
Right.
I can file a counter notice if I so choose. You're supposed to provide a copy of it. No, I received nothing.
No.
I've checked and triple checked and rechecked my email. Nothing. They just took the store down. No explanation. No reason. So, new plan, y'all. I basically on Friday night on into Saturday morning, I set up a new store.
Yeah.
It's at hauntweeklystore.com. Check it out. It has everything that was in the original store plus 7 new products.
Yeah. Because apparently it was easier to set up.
It was, and partly because we already had the print ready. Because that was the other thing. Like, all the pieces were there.
Yeah.
I had all the pieces to reset up the store very quickly because since we had set up the store recently, I still had the downloads, the digital files, and everything we used. So everything was ready to make new Haunt Weekly shirts, buttons, and that's just it. Right now, in addition, we had the 4 t-shirts and mask combos we had previously. That was the Haunt Weekly shirt, the Haunt Weekly Pride shirt, the Oddball shirt, and the Haunt Aficionado shirt.
Right.
We have mask shirt and those.
Right.
We also now have baby stuff.
Yeah.
We have a really cute baby onesie and baby bib with a future haunter on it.
Right.
It's really adorable. I seriously should check it out. We have Haunt Weekly buttons, stickers,
Hats.
hats,
Mugs.
and mugs. Yeah. And we've gotten stickers and mugs up in the old store right before it went down, so I don't think anyone actually saw it.
Right.
I would not be surprised if no one saw it.
Well,
But-
and of course it went down, after we asked, what else should be there? Well, obviously something was the answer.
So yeah, we got our store yanked down. We have no idea why, what the justification is. I'm pissed off about it.
Yeah.
And I spent most of Friday night and on into Saturday morning putting up the new store, and much of the day Saturday day redesigning the objects and getting everything ported over.
Yeah.
So now you have a better than ever store that we control the domain. It's on my server now, and we partner through a company called Printify. We partner through a bunch of print-on-demand companies for t-shirts, mugs, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we're back to asking for recommendations for what you want. We have the Oddball shirt. So if that was one thing you were looking for, that is definitely in the store, as is the mask.
Yes. And if you are going to buy something, we have a new coupon code for you.
Because we're still testing this out. We've done an order for ourselves.
Right.
So we're familiar with how the process works. but we're still working on it all. Long story short, go to the store, HauntWeeklyStore.com. When you check out, use the coupon code NEWSTORE, all caps, NEWSTORE. It'll give you 25% off. That's the biggest discount I'm probably going to provide blanketly to the store. Because I think it's the biggest we can without actually losing money on each sale.
Right.
Because of the way the store is set up. So, new store, give you 25% off it. Help us test the system to make sure it works. Be a little patient with us as we're learning. And this is a new middle person for us to work with. So give us a little patience. We'll try to get the stuff to you as quickly as we can. But trust me, I'm excited about this new store and the new opportunities. But, we have the Haunt Weekly bag, too.
Oh, yeah.
We got a tote bag now.
Yeah.
Finally. We couldn't really get a tote bag on Teespring. But so, yeah, it was our middle finger to them. Was we got set up with the tote bag we always wanted but couldn't get.
Right. Because they didn't have any in black.
Yeah, they didn't have any in black. It was either white or natural.
Yes.
Which is just beige. It's just beige. It's just
yeah.
beige. It's called beige, people. You know? But anyway, so that's the ongoing drama of the Haunt Weekly Store. I'll be sure to tell you next week why they removed it when we find out. Because I'm deadly curious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously not of import now. It's not of practical import. It's
Right.
set up elsewhere, and I think set up better.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
I think we're set up there. I think we're set up better, and I'm happy about it. I want to know what we did that was so egregious that they felt it was right to yank down our store. Not the listings.
No.
Still had all the listings. I was able to take the text from them. Had all the listings. But take down our store and not even give us an email.
Yeah.
I want to know what was so egregious, what we did so wrong. That not only the Haunt Weekly store, but the other store, which I created for the craft group we're in, and it had nothing in it. The plan was I was going to set it up to make and sell T-shirts for the group.
Right.
And I never, since we never finalized the name yet, we never actually did that.
Yeah. And we have a question from Chandra Howard in Canada. Does the store ship internationally?
Yes, I know it ships to the EU.
Okay.
I know that for a fact. Because I had to set the default currency for the UK. I'm not making that up. It should ship to Canada, no problem. I don't see why that would be an issue. If it ships to the UK, it should definitely ship to Canada. It didn't say Canada expressly, but yeah, it should. So yes, good question. It's so frustrating to have to deal with that and to lose my Friday night when I already wasn't feeling particularly good.
No, you were playing games and I pulled you out of games in order to work.
And you pulled me out of I was playing game because I had my first COVID shot Thursday.
I know.
I was not feeling that great.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not feeling too terrible, but I was definitely in a low energy, I just want to play game and exist in this three-dimensional space for a bit mode.
Yeah.
I sure as hell wasn't in, I want to tackle a major website design project mode.
Right. Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, I'm still miffed about that, and I'm going to be. I can't wait for the explanation personally.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
It should be good.
It should be at least entertaining. So yeah, and that's what we've been working on. It's the big damn store. So HauntWeeklyStore.com, code NEWSTORE for 25% off. Check it out. Have a great time. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Now to the news.
On to the news. We have lots of news this
We
week.
do.
And Crystal actually took the lead. I've been sick much of the day today. Mm-hmm. I might have overdid it a wee little bit on Saturday night to celebrate the new store being finished and getting it up in working in record time. Mm-hmm. Might have overdone it a little. So I've been out of commission for a lot of the day today. So Crystal has taken the lead. And Crystal, why don't you take the first story?
All right. Guess what we have?
HHN News.
Exactly. We have Halloween and Horror Nights announcement. The first one is Beetlejuice.
I love this.
Yeah. So it was originally going to be part of the 2020 season. They had to close it after one weekend. Guess why? But the fans who went liked it, and they loved the characters that did the roam around the parks throughout the season. It's a maze-like attraction. They have added some new surprises, so that if you did go during that one weekend, there will be something new for you.
Yeah, there's reason to go again.
Yeah. And early reports are that Universal is looking to have a bigger season this year, more normal, hopefully. And they'll be releasing HHN
And
news in the weeks to come.
What's wild about about all this is that 2020 should have been like the perfect year for haunting.
Yeah, no
Halloween
kidding.
was on a Saturday. You had basically a perfect run of weekends in October.
It was a full moon.
It was a full moon. And HHN would have celebrated its 30th year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, literally, that is a bonkers, perfect haunt season, and it just got ruined by the pandemic. I mean, I know a lot of haunts opened, but come on. I mean, it wasn't the same.
No.
So yeah, this is from an article by Film Rave. Yeah, interesting stuff there. I'm actually really happy about the Beetlejuice haunt because it's such a stylistic film.
It is, and it's like stepping into another world.
It is.
And that's what it looks like. It looks like the Beetlejuice world, not the like normal scenes in
It reminds
Beetlejuice.
me more of the cartoon than the movie in that regard.
Exactly.
Because the cartoon happened a lot in the Netherworld, which is Beetlejuice's world.
Yeah.
And that was interesting.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen the Beetlejuice cartoon, definitely check it out if you can find it somewhere.
Check it out. Or at the very
was
least,
fun.
watch the intro.
Yeah.
One of the best cartoon intros ever.
Yeah.
It's a great intro. All right, I just gave myself a sad one.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple of heavier stories back to back here, and we'll get through them. We promised to try to end light. We try to send you home happy. Everyone knows that about us.
Yeah. But I mean, it's only two sadder ones.
Yeah, 2 or 3, but we'll get there. This is an article by KKTV. Hellscream Haunted House in Colorado Springs. One of the owners, Vincent Stiles,
Stites.
Stites, I almost called him Stiles. Stites has been arrested for alleged child sex crimes dating to the mid-2000s.
Yeah. And at the time, he was working as a youth pastor.
Yeah. He was arrested on February 24th, charged with 1 count of sexual assault on a child. The other haunt co-owners, the other 2, apparently there are 3, have said that he has stepped down and noted that the allegations happened before the haunt was ever opened or even really considered. It was over a decade ago.
Yeah.
And they do plan to continue with the haunt. Their plans have not changed. It's just that Stites will not be a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess this just reiterates the need for the conversation to happen about background checks on who you work with and who you hire.
Well, a background check would not have done anything here because he hadn't been arrested. His record would have still been clean.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's just it. I don't think realistically
there's anything that they could have done.
The co-owners could have done anything.
No.
I mean, if they'd had an intuition or a niggle in their mind telling them that this guy is off kilter, maybe listen to that intuition. But that's assuming they even had that.
Yeah.
It's just they are. I'm sure the other 2 owners are feeling very hurt and betrayed right now.
Yeah, definitely.
By all accounts, they didn't do anything. Like the article points out, this happened over a decade ago, well before the haunt was even started.
Right.
So they probably didn't even know the guy at this time.
Probably not.
So yeah, the haunt plans to continue. Once again, that's Hellspring Haunted House in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So it's just a sad story all around. Thoughts with the victim. Obviously, we don't know too many details about the victim on the exact nature of the crime. That's for obvious reasons.
Yes.
That's for perfectly obvious reasons. But yeah, so here's hoping that closure is granted through whatever happens.
Yeah.
All right, you're up next.
Okay, so a man is suing the San Leandro, and sorry if I mispronounced that, police after altercation at a haunted house that caused alleged injuries. The incident happened back in October. The article's by Michael C.
Cabanaton?
Cabanaton?
We'll run with it.
Yeah, at the San Francisco Chronicle, Jonathan Guidel has sued the police after the altercation at Fear Overload Scream Park. Basically, an actor jumped out to scare his cousin who was in the group he was in.
Which is kind of what they're paid to do in a haunted house.
It is. And he responded by pushing the actor away. The police then got
It led to
involved.
a quote-unquote altercation that does not get described any further.
Right.
So yeah, it led to an altercation. The police got called in, and it's not clear if it's detail cops that were on site,
Right.
or if the actual police department just came roaring in.
Exactly. No idea. He tried to leave the scene after being told
Yeah.
not to. So the police took him down by putting a knee on the back of his knee, which caused injuries to his knee.
Yeah, and everybody that's been a dad, I think, has done that to their kid to show how easy it is to unlock someone's knee by putting a knee in the back of it.
Yeah, or taking self-defense training.
Yeah, you take self-defense training and compliance training. It's a commonly taught technique.
Exactly. So he was arrested and taken to the hospital.
No, he was taken to jail, not to the hospital. That's one of the problems.
He was taken to the hospital first.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah, they checked him out at the ER, and then they took him to jail.
Okay.
And then for the next 2 days, he was without medical treatment,
Yeah.
which resulted in,
So they actually did take him to the hospital first.
yeah, initially.
Okay, then I don't say this lightly, but I think I'm completely on the side of the police here.
Yeah,
Because if they took him by the hospital first, that shows they at least, tried to get him medical attention.
yeah,
Maybe the damage wasn't evident to the ER at that time,
right.
but he said that he had had surgery on that knee and has racked up over $300K in medical bills. which
Exactly.
I completely believe. Yeah, and here's the thing. And Jonathan, if for some reason you're listening to this,
Uh,
on behalf of the entirety of the haunt community, I have a very simple request. Never go to a haunted house again.
yeah,
Just assume this is not going to be a part of your life.
right.
It's done. Because the minute, if your instinct when you are startled or scared like that, or when someone scares a member of your group, is to shove or to hit or to fight back physically, don't go to a haunted house.
No,
You're just going to get yourself hurt, or you're going to hurt someone else.
no,
Nothing good comes of that, and I hope I don't think he needs to be told that,
no.
but if he does, I hope he gets the message, because it's a terrible response. It is not safe. And then when the police are saying, hands up, get down, and you just try to saunter off, like,
No.
I knew I didn't do anything wrong. That's what he said.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't do anything wrong. Well, A, you did. You shoved an employee.
Yeah,
It was
once
literally
you
just doing their
touch,
job.
yeah, once you touch someone, that's considered assault.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
battery. technically.
Battery,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's technically battery, but yeah. But no, technically you did something very wrong. You shoved an employee who was doing their job trying to scare you, and then the police got involved because of the altercation that created. So yes, you did do something wrong. And please never go to a haunt again. You are just too big of a risk.
Yep.
I mean, I really hope he gets that message, because jeez, that is this story was nuts. Because when I first heard about it, and the article is set up weird because it leads with $300K in medical bills and all the stuff. I'm like, oh jeez, how bad did the cops bork this? What happened?
Yeah.
And then you read the story, it's like, oh. No, I don't want to say he had it coming, but he definitely created the situation that got him injured.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody deserves to be injured, but
No.
when you go and shove an employee, and put someone else's in potential bodily harm, and you get hurt yourself, that's kind of a predictable outcome of that behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. It's just, it drives me bonkers that people who do not know how to react to fear in a haunted house insist upon going, and you can always spot them in line.
Yeah.
Or as they're going through. And that's just it. We've had guys take swings on some of our actors, including one of the biggest, toughest looking MFers you can imagine.
Yeah.
Because he's built like a brick shithouse, and someone still took a swing at him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, and our friend Matt, who works in the haunt, he's 6 foot a lot. I forgot his actual height, and 300 pounds. He's a big dude. And he works security at a casino.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, people keep trying to take swings at him. I'm like, why are you fucking with the biggest giant in the room?
I don't understand it at all. Yeah.
Seriously. I don't understand that tendency at all, and I definitely don't understand it in a haunted attraction.
No.
Don't go to a haunted house if that's your instinct. Please. All right, well, next up, in the Wells Township Haunted House is opening for a lights out attraction. This article is actually it's a video from WTRF. This is interesting. There's a lot of St. Patty's Day haunts. We're actually talking about one in just a minute for reasons we'll get into.
Yeah.
But we've been hearing a lot about St. Patrick's Day haunts, at least in passing. But this is the first one that's opening pretty much that same weekend, but doing it as a lights out attraction, not a themed one.
Right.
Which is interesting. And the whole idea is you have to sign a waiver. Okay, that's stupid. We've been over why waivers are dumb.
Right. They don't work.
They do not work. I don't care what your lawyer says. You cannot consent to being assaulted. And at any point, I can withdraw the consent I gave in that waiver.
Right.
That's what people don't realize. If, we sign a contract to have a boxing match, and then I get to round 2 and I say, I'm done, I don't want to box anymore, and you keep hitting me, it's still assault.
Yeah.
In spite of that waiver. Just anyway. But have to sign a waiver. You're only given a glow stick. All lights will be out. No guide, and each person has to go solo.
Yeah. Which means that they probably are keeping COVID, restrictions in place if you're having to go by yourself.
Yeah.
They don't say that specifically,
but it seems logical. And
yeah.
I'm personally not a fan of haunts that make you go alone.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being, I think this is something Margit Kerr backs me up on too, is that haunts, one of the benefits of haunt is that it's a team building and a group building exercise.
Yeah.
It's meant to be a shared experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when you force people to go in alone, you take that away from them. Because, yeah, they're going to have a similar experience, but it ain't going to be the same. And you're not going to be able to say, oh, did you see how you reacted to that?
No.
You don't get that bonding. And that's one of the real benefits of a haunt. Now, I can understand doing small groups.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe limit it to 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But just alone, and also it's going to murder your throughput.
Yeah.
That just takes the throughput out and just shoots it right in the back of the head.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if they're so worried about that. It doesn't sound like it.
No, it doesn't. But no, it's an interesting idea, and I was actually really cool with that idea. Really cool with it, and I was happy to include it because it was unique.
Mm-hmm.
Not your typical St. Patty's Day haunting fair.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, one of the quotes in the article or the video is that and they say, "What are you going to see when you go in?" Nothing. That was the answer.
Yeah,
nothing.
Which that creates the problem for me because I like looking at the decorations in a haunt. I like looking at the design and the aesthetic.
Well, and I also want to make sure that there's nothing at my feet that I'm going to trip over.
Yeah.
That's my
lights out nights. We did one impromptu when our power went out.
Yes.
It was not planned, but we always keep our walkway meticulously free of stuff. Mm-hmm. Not only because, of dark areas and not want people to trip, but because when people start Looney Tunes running,
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. That uncoordinated flailing running that only seems to happen in haunts, even no matter how many times you say don't run.
Yeah.
We don't want them to get injured on a soda can on the floor or something somebody else dropped.
Right.
The rule of thumb is every actor in their zone is picking up the floor, anything dropped immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. All in all, interesting. Okay, next story then.
All right. So, speaking of St. Patrick's Day haunted houses, they have one planned at Bayville Scream Park. This article is by Peggy Smellman Huey. They have 3 haunted attractions, including the St. Patrick's Haunted House, Haunted St. Patrick's at the Asylum, and Leprechaun's Fun House. The patrons will be asked to wear masks at all times, keep social distancing enforced. They're also going to be axe throwing, monster repellent, glow-in-the-dark rosary beads with crosses, and a Irish pub is serving food and alcohol. And it sounds like a really fun time, and this is in New York.
Yeah, in Long Island specifically.
Yeah, Oyster Bay.
Hang on a second. I'm trying to get the there it is. Couldn't find my Facebook tab to get the chat back up. Yeah, I went to look up where it was. It was Long Island, yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is very cool. And I think this is a pretty darn brilliant idea too in its own right. Not so much because opening a haunt for St. Patrick's Day, I find that to be a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because Valentine's Day I get, Christmas I get, Easter I think is just too much of a straight fire religious holiday.
Mm-hmm.
But St. Patrick's Day, the celebration of St. Patrick's Day in these United States is complicated enough.
It is.
And we're not qualified to go into that.
No.
But So that one issue there, but the other is it just doesn't lend itself really well. So what they did is say, you're right, it doesn't. We're just going to do an Irish festival type thing.
Yeah.
And that worked. I can understand that.
Yeah, I'm curious whether or not they're going to get some feedback from the Catholic community about doing the glow-in-the-dark rosaries, and if they're going to be used to tag people in the haunted house,
Interesting.
as easy marks like you do with glow necklaces.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, I've talked to enough haunts that do the flashlight nights or the glow necklace nights and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're coding you.
Oh, yeah.
With those. You get a certain color, it means a certain thing. And usually when we go, we get the green one, which I'm told means, not super easy prey or not acting nervous.
Yeah.
I've been told that because we live for this stuff.
Yeah.
But we've all been in line with that one person that's having a panic attack in the queue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, the anticipation is going to kill you worse than the haunt.
Right, exactly.
You can be scared, have fun, but can you dial it back like just a half a notch so that you can actually go in productively and enjoy it, You got to cut it back just a little bit. Okay, now this is a story that is very, very near and dear to my heart right now. And judging from the threads we've been seeing on Haunters Hangout and other haunt groups, something that a lot of people are dealing with now. It's not directly haunt related, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out why it's included.
No.
According to the NAHB, National Association of Home Builders, lumber prices have risen more than 170% in the past 10 months. This is an article by Carrie Smith at FloridaRealtors.org, and multiple sources for this piece, but it is absolutely bonkers. If you go to your local Home Depot or your local Lowe's and check the price on lumber, it is bonkers.
Yeah, if you were hoping to do a new build right now, it's probably not. It's not going to be easy.
Well, let me put it like this. I actually, before we came out, I looked up bulk wholesale lumber prices.
Yeah.
Because I was curious what the trend was, where we were. The trend, it's done in terms of value, cost per 1,000 linear. Now, historically, it's like ping pong between $300 and $400 for 1,000 linear feet, which that's how you get your $2 2x4, $2.50 2x4, right? Right now, it is at 1,000, and I think 1,080 or 1,008 or 1,080. I can't remember which one it was, but it was over 1,000.
Yeah,
that is bonkers.
It is. Yeah, I mean, so they call them purple studs at Home Depot right now, are $7.15 a piece.
Yeah, the stud wood. The stud height stud wood.
Yeah, they look pink to me, but they call them purple. Whatever.
Stud wood.
Yeah.
All the names are valid, and this has caused the price for lumber in a new home to rise from $35,000 to $71,000.
Yeah, and that's just for the framing.
Yeah, that's just the framing materials. Mm-hmm. And according to multiple people I've heard speak about it, the issue is this: COVID caused a major slowdown in lumber production that was not helped by Hurricane Zeta hitting this region, especially.
Yeah, or by the freezing in Texas that damaged so many homes.
Yeah, there was all kinds of disasters here that both shut down sawmills and meant that wood was being funneled away from the retail market, especially.
Right.
And basically the wood that is getting produced is almost going straight into new construction or contract work. Very little of it is making it to retail spaces. So a piece of advice I've seen multiple times, and I'll reiterate it here, is if you do need lumber of any quantity, and it might not be as much quantity as you think, you can go to a lumber yard and you may be able to score a better deal.
Yeah.
Different lumber yards have different minimum buy-ins. So, talk, communicate, but you'll probably be able to get a better deal at a lumber yard because that's staying on the wholesale side of things, not the retail side with Lowe's, Home Depot, your Ace Hardware, whatever. Yeah. So try to shift to the wholesale side. And like I said, the buy-in it depends per lumber yard. I know one near on Chapatulas here had like a buy-in of a couple $100.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
It wasn't much. We easily could do that if we had better transportation for the wood. But yeah, this is bonkers. And the worst part, the part that scares me, is I checked the forecasts. It's not supposed to drop much between now and October. It's supposed to drop some. There's some flattening and tapering, but the anticipated price right around, say, August, September, when
Yeah.
probably the last minute you have to start those haunt builds, are still estimated to be around $800 and $900 per 1,000 linear square feet. Still
Yeah.
double what they were at the beginning, at February 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, the lumber prices are nuts, basically.
Yeah, they are. And, it's a highly regulated industry too. And they're trying to ask for increased production, but haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah, COVID wrecked a lot of these mills' ability to produce adequate amounts of lumber. And like we said, what's being made is pretty much going straight into new homes and contracting. It's not making it to the retail place. That was the thing. When we went to Lowe's and Home Depot for our yard display, back when we were thinking about that, we noticed that wood was insane. It was like $6 for a 2x4, and that's just pants on head crazy.
Yeah.
So we did not do that.
Right.
We ended up rethinking, which was a good thing too, because Zeta, that would have been a much, much bigger pain in the ass.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because our design would not have survived a hurricane.
No, probably not.
It would have survived the regular October winds.
Yeah. Yeah, but especially that hurricane, because it probably would have...
Yeah, it would have made landfall as a Cat 3.
Yeah, it would have, knocked over what we had planned into the house, and then the house would be broken, and it'd be terrible.
No, it's frustrating. But, yeah, in the end, try to get wholesale for the lumber if you can.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just hopefully these prices adjust and will come back down to something reasonable, because that's not a sustaining price for framing materials for a new house.
No.
You know what I mean? That's not sustainable. That can't be held.
No.
I'm surprised there's still so much new construction going on.
Well, it's priced a lot of people out of the market, and it is... The new construction has crawled, crawling along now. It's about to stop, is what the article it's talked about.
Yeah, we're lucky in that we really won't be needing much wood for this season, because our haunt's been built for 2 goddamn years now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, street repair. Thank you, COVID. Thank you, Zeta. Thank you to all the trio of assholes that have kept us out of our haunt for the past, 2 years.
No.
And it hurt my feelings, because when we had an incident, there was a car accident of our road. I won't go into details, but we were talking to some of the neighborhood kids that were also coming out to be witnesses.
Yeah.
And it says, we run the haunted house, and make sure they knew which house was ours. I'm like, yeah, but y'all don't do that anymore.
Oh.
I'm like, yes, we do. We didn't have a street in 2019, and we couldn't do it with the city rules in 2020. Not that it mattered. Zeta would have ended the season pretty hardcore.
No.
Because we ain't got no power.
Well, I'm glad that they found out that we will be opening this year.
And in fact, I encouraged him to spread the word on our behalf.
Yeah.
Hither and yon, far and wide, spread the word that 2021 we will be back in business.
No.
So yes, I'm excited about it. But man, that was a gut punch.
Yeah.
Moving
on. All right. Niles Scream Park is looking for partners for nonprofits. They are located in Michigan near South Bend. They are a nonprofit organization themselves. They partner with local charities, and they're inviting new charities to partner with them. They run on volunteers, 150 to 200 each night.
Which is impressive as hell.
Yeah, and since 1996, they've donated more than $2 million to local charities.
The article is by WSGM.
Yeah. JM.
JM, sorry.
That's okay.
This is an interesting story, because wanted to get this one out there. If you know any charities that'd be a good natural pairing in that area, the South Bend, Michigan area, let them know. Get the hookup. We'll put the article in our show notes, as we always do, and you can just tell anybody interested to go there, and we'll,
Yep.
Yeah, go and check them out. All right, this is an interesting one here. Not technically haunted attraction in the strictest sense of the word, but I still find this fascinating.
Yeah, go ahead and talk.
Yeah. Basically, the Buffalo Bill House from Silence of the Lambs is now a bed and breakfast. This article is by Suzanne Keller, I guess that's it, from Forbes. Basically, it's located in western Pennsylvania, and the owner said, I could not believe that the house was for sale. Chris Rowan's the new owner, so he jumped at the chance to buy it. And basically turning it into a bed and breakfast that's Silence of the Lambs themed.
Yeah, but he has experience in filmmaking.
Yeah.
So what he's doing is he's making it a cinematic destination, plus he's putting in unique and interactive experiences, which does sound like it might be haunt related.
Yeah, it might be.
But we don't know
we don't
because
know.
it's not done yet.
It's not done yet, and he's being understandably very tight-lipped about what those surprises are.
Yeah. Yeah, but apparently the shovel that's used in the movie came with the house.
Oh, wow. Free Buffalo Bill shovel with purchase of house.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. Kind of like how we got a washer dryer, some skis.
Yeah.
No, skis
a
are
really,
up there.
yeah.
There's skis in the ceiling of the garage.
Yeah.
Old-timey wooden ones.
Yeah.
Like ancient skis.
Yeah. I just don't know what they're. I don't even know.
No, they won't be water skis. They're wood.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're wood. Did they make? I've never been water skiing. I've never been skiing. Full stop. Water or otherwise.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And
We've never taken them down.
No, and with my clumsy nature, skiing is probably the last sport I should take up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just an interesting idea. Okay.
All right.
Would you like to own what is described as the oldest walk-through haunted attraction in the country?
Yes.
Well, you have that chance now. If you have $675,000,
Exactly.
you get to buy Cave City's iconic Guntown Mountain. The entire park is up for sale, and there's a lot at this particular park. There's a lot of individual things.
Uh-huh.
They have an escape room. They have like a blacklight mini golf. They have a whole bunch of neat things. It's more like a fun park than an amusement park by the looks of it.
Yeah.
But one of the attractions they have is the Haunted Hotel, which is, according to them, the oldest walk-through haunted attraction in the United States, or possibly the world.
Yeah.
And
So that's pretty exciting.
yeah, it's located in Louisville, Kentucky.
It's 25 acres.
Mm-hmm.
So that's,
Bear in mind, if
big.
you do buy this, you will end up in Kentucky.
This is true, but
Nothing.
if you're already
If
there,
you're already there, then I mean, it can't get worse.
yeah, it looks like it looks like it was set up as a roadside attraction
Yeah.
because there's a big road beside it. Looking at the photos,
Oh yeah, I totally could see this being like a south of the border type thing. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what south of the border is, Google it. It's in South Carolina. Just Google it. It is some of the craziest shit you'll see.
no,
And bear in mind that place has been open longer than I've been alive.
yeah,
So it's some crazy shit. It's just absolutely bonkers. It's about as racially sensitive as
it sounds,
a minstrel film.
yeah,
It's
not,
It's not. So yeah, this is an interesting idea, and the asking price isn't that bad considering what all you're getting. It's a big property, like you said, 20 some odd acres, 25 acres, and it has multiple attractions, including the Haunted Hotel. They were charging only $5 a ticket for the Haunted Hotel on their site.
wow,
I know that's cheap.
yeah.
At that price,
Yeah,
you could buy 2 tickets and go through 20.
Yeah, that makes me question it more than say yeah, but we'll see.
moving on.
Anyway, all right. So the Queen Mary, the haunted.
Yeah, Queen
Ship-
Mary's Dark Harbor is the haunt that's there. I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Is getting its own 3-part horror movie franchise. This article is by Brandon Richardson at the Long Beach Post. The first one is set to come out either later this year or at the beginning of next year, and it's going to be just called The Queen Mary.
Yeah.
So,
This is interesting because I know the Queen Mary is also a historical attraction on top of being a haunted attraction.
right.
I mean, you can go there any time of the year. It's just not going to be open as a haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things they do offer year round, I know, is like ghost hunting exercises and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's a jam, that's a jam. But yeah, this is interesting. A haunted attraction, which has legit legend around it in this area, is getting not 1, not 2, but 3 movies made. First one, like you said, set to be released late 2021 or early 2022, with the next one's expected to drop in 2023 and 2024, respectively.
Yeah. So basically each year for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
And the history behind it does include a lot of deaths on that boat.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so
And
there's that.
And one of the plot points is that it was not the Titanic that was the unsinkable shit. No shit. There's only one thing the Titanic is famous for, and it's literally sinking.
yeah.
but that the Queen Mary was the actual unsinkable ship. But it being unsinkable meant like all these ghosts and stuff are trapped in, all these other tragedies befell it, type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's interesting.
No.
I think this will be I'm definitely gonna check it out when it comes out.
Well, yeah, and since we haven't been able to go, it might be a good way to see part of the attraction.
I really would like to go to Midsummer Scream one year because that's when they do the tour, usually of Queen Mary Dark Harbor.
Yeah.
I would love that. Midsummer Scream is probably in the there's like 3 or 4 haunt conferences I really want to make it to, and now that we don't have to have the obligations for HauntCon anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to broaden our horizons a little bit. I'm not interested in Transworld at all. But there's all these smaller ones, like the Ohio one. Midsummer Scream looks awesome with the Hall of Shadows. I just got so much, I want to see. So yeah,
the HA event.
Oh yeah, the HA event coming up. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we may be able to make it to that.
We're gonna try. We're gonna put in as
Don't
much
know.
effort as we can.
Yeah.
All right, Sims 4. If any of y'all are Sims fans, you've got to check out some of these expansion packs that made the news recently.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually, theoretically, make your home a haunted house in The Sims now.
Yeah, it is. It was pitched as make the perfect haunted house.
Yeah. And this is an article by Eric Petrovich at Game Rant. There's the Spooky Stuff Pack, the Paranormal Pack, the Vintage Glamour Stuff Pack, the Realm of Magic, Vampire Game Pack, and more. There's a whole bunch of these packs, and some of them are just released on for Sims 4. Mm-hmm. Some of them have been around for a minute. But I was just thinking about this the other day, which The Sims may be an interesting way to, like, map out a haunt.
Yeah.
Because, you build the home.
Exactly.
You build the home, so you may be able to actually, like, rough out a haunt that way. It'd be interesting.
It would.
All right. Next up. You have undoubtedly seen this.
Yes.
And the last story, too. Oh, man. We're ending on perfect time.
Yeah. So, Will Abington's Barrett's Haunted Mansion delivering fright. This was a photo.
Yeah, it's been all over the internet.
It has.
And basically, it shows their sign with like those little letters underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, "We deliver."
Exactly.
But it's the haunted house with like devil horn, the devil face, and all that.
Yeah.
And we deliver underneath it.
Yeah, and so somebody asked, "What are you delivering?" And am I curious enough to order it, or am I not? And this
We did
article's
talk about clowngrams.
yeah, exactly. And this article's by Cody Shepard at the Enterprise. It seems to be brilliant marketing.
On accident.
On accident.
Accidentally on purpose, to quote the Dresden Dolls, maybe.
Yeah. But they posted their sign. So next door is an ale house.
Owned by the same people.
Owned by the same people. So they just put now delivering on both signs.
Because they're delivering food and non-alcoholic drinks as part of the ale house.
Yeah, and they put that up in January.
Yeah.
So recently, though, the photo of the haunted house delivering went viral. It got 15,000 retweets and 130,000 likes.
Yep. It's been all over Facebook, too. That didn't even cover. I mean, I saw it on Facebook.
I know. And the owner never thought people would interpret it as the haunted house delivering, but now they're thinking about it.
Yeah, they're trying to work out how to make it happen.
Yeah, they're like, maybe we can have some of our people have scary delivery of the food, That... I think it's a good idea. If you can deliver flowers, you can do clownograms for Valentine's Day. You should be able to get a scary meal.
Yeah, I concur. That would be awesome, getting a scary meal.
Yeah, and I would check an extra box and say, I'll tip a little bit extra for the scary person to deliver the food.
Mm-hmm. Pay a little higher delivery fee and add an extra tip.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see doing that. I would love to get my waiter or Uber Eats delivered by creepy clown or a monster or something like that.
Yeah. And it isn't that far-fetched for this haunted house, because back in the fall they were able to pivot by getting 2 giant screens, and they did a double feature movie for Halloween, and they had their actors go around the cars and like stalk people and jump up at scary times.
It's kind of a delivery unto itself, if you think about it.
Exactly.
They're bringing the fright to you.
Yeah.
You just got to make it into the parking lot.
Yeah.
So no, this was really interesting though, and he's like, oh, I never thought to me that people might think the haunted house is delivering. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
You had to know. Can you put it right underneath the sign for the haunt?
Yeah.
You had to know there was at least a possibility.
Yeah, but she had no idea.
Yeah, apparently that's their story and they're sticking to it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, so that's it for the news. And I gotta say that meme, I guess I saw it from non-haunty people on Facebook. Like I think some of our burlesque friends were passing it around.
No.
So yeah, interesting.
All right.
So revisiting the question of the week, has the fight started over the best Girl Scout cookies yet?
A little bit.
All right. Well, what do we got?
All right. So my brother says Samoa. Like I said, I think that's the only one that we had in the house growing up. So, Sean O'Laughlin says tagalongs for the win. And
I have never actually heard anyone say tagalongs as the favorite.
I don't know that I've ever tasted one.
It may be one of the flavors that we can't get because there's two. We were just discussing this, Ellie. There's like two regions for Girl Scout cookies, and she used to live near St. Louis, which is right on the dividing line. So she get Girl Scout cookies twice a year.
Yeah.
Every 6 months they'd roll around with the next batch.
Yeah.
But you get different cookies and different recipes depending on which zone you're in.
Yeah.
The Thin Mints are pretty consistent between them. I do know that for certain.
Right. And Chandra Hard says Thin Mints all the way.
Yeah,
so she is with
Thin
you.
Mint. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm a big, like I said, Thin Mint camp here totally, but I am very excited to try the French Toasties. Maybe not tonight. I don't think I'm in the mood to try it tonight. Tomorrow when I'm feeling a little bit better, you go for it then. So yeah, all in all, I think that's the news that's fit to print for the haunted attraction industry right now. A lot of interesting stuff going on. For me personally, I'm really hoping that the lumber prices come down in a hurry.
Yeah. Well, not only for haunted attractions, but because people need to make repairs, and it would just be nice if they didn't have to pay out the nose for it.
Yeah, I'm seeing like people starting their framing and roughing of their builds for haunts. And like I'm seeing these things in Haunted Hangout where it's like they've got like a 2.5-story facade made of 2x4s and OSB, and I'm just sitting there going, Jesus, that's
expensive.
That's a lot of fucking money you just threw at that.
No.
And about 2 to 3 times as much as you should have had to throw at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Because like I said, normally it floats around 300 to 400 per 1,000 linear square feet, and now it's over a buck of buck a foot right now, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, still that's my big takeaway from this, as far as the stuff that impacts my haunt.
Yeah.
Well, any final thoughts? Anything else you want to add? I
No.
think we did it. I think we got through it.
Yay.
Well, on that note, everyone, thank you very much for joining us. This has been Haunt Weekly, episode 276, discussing the February-March news. You can catch more Haunt Weekly at hauntweekly.com. Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, youtube.com/Haunt Weekly is our YouTube channel. All the previous episodes are there. And you can also catch us live on our Facebook page every Sunday at 8 p.m. as we record these in front of an audience now. Join the chat, get involved every Sunday at 8 p.m. Facebook.com/Haunt Weekly. You can also catch us at Google Play, iTunes, and Stitcher. And definitely check out HauntWeeklyStore.com. See what I have been working on for like 2 days straight now. It's not finished. There's still some design issues. There's still progress to be made. But check out the new products there and use the code NEWSTORE, NEWSTORE, for 25% off your order. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And we will see you all next week.